to the inaugural, hopefully inaugural, Health and Fit Expo. My name is Melinda. I'm the president of the United Greek Council, and I just wanted to welcome you to the expo and let you know what we have in store for you today, okay?
Okay, it works.
Is that good? All right, so what we got is we've got booths, experts, and speakers. So we have a lot of fabulous booths that are giving away a lot of free stuff, from Cow Exist to Sweet Green in the back. And we got Primal Terps, Charge, Mega Bar in the house. So feel free during the breakout sessions to go and check those out. Also in that corner, we have an expert chat corner. So you can talk with nutritionists, power lifter, you can find basically anything you want, just ask them any questions that you want. And how the expo is gonna work is that we're alternating between talks and breakout sessions. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna invite up our first speaker. His name is Justin Wisor, and I'm gonna invite you guys to take a seat for the talk, unless you're at a booth, but like, go ahead and take a seat if you want. Yeah. Cool.
Sit down.
So what we have in store for you today for talks, we've got Justin Wisor. He's going to talk about Paleo.
Is it not working?
Paleo 101. We've also got, after Justin, at 5:45, we've got David Amici. He's going to talk about how to program your own exercise routine. Then at 6:15, we've got a special guest, Onyinye, who's coming from Towson to talk about her fitness story, how she's developed over the last year, and her story is just completely inspiring. And then we're going to close out the event with a fantastic talk by our own Elaine Wang, who is a competitive female power lifter. So it's going to be an awesome event. And Justin, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to please give a hand for Justin.
So, quick introduction. I'm Justin. And how does this work? What do I press?
I'll click it.
Okay. Who am I? Yeah, I was really, really fat as a kid. So when a lot of people like to say, like, where you come from, oh, I just came to college, I started working out, I got ripped. Unlike a lot of people, I've walked the walk of losing a lot of weight and keeping it off. It's created a lot of struggle inside, but it's also created a person I wouldn't take back for the childhood that my brothers got to have, being very thin. But a little background, 7th grade, dropped the first 40 pounds I've ever lost. That came back on when the personal trainer I had left, and then got to college, kind of lost some, gained even more. I was just yo-yoing up and down. Summer after my freshman year, I became a vegan for 5 months. I dropped everything, but that will happen when you starve yourself on rabbit food. So I gained it all back. And so that was me at the end on the right after the vegan thing. I finally had abs. Oh my God, abs. But yeah, so next slide, please. So from the way I approach health now is through evolutionary biology. The whole paleo movement is based on acknowledging how our genes were shaped through the 200 years of existence that we have had as a species. And I don't know if you believe in evolution or not, but I do, and that's the way I approach it. And the theme of this talk will be evolution turns the unavoidable into the necessary. Basically, if we survived evolution and we didn't get wiped out by something in the environment, it had to become a part of us as something that we need or expect on a day-to-day basis that make us bigger, stronger, faster, better, badass human beings. The concept we didn't live long, infant mortality, 1 in 10 babies survived or something ridiculous. The average lifespan was like well into the 50s and 60s if you survived being a baby. And if you were an idiot, you died. You didn't die from chronic disease, you died from accidents and predators and all that type of stuff. Next. So yeah, ancient genes, modern times, how do we use both, optimize living and health? Okay, this is gonna get really annoying that the side is cut off there, but whatever, okay. So the 7 pillars that I define: smile, relax, enjoy, sun, sleep, move, and eat. And I'm gonna really discs. I'm not going to concentrate on food because that's the most sensitive, and I know people want to learn. I'll be over there, but the other parts are just as, if not more important. So smile. Human beings did not survive because we were physically stronger than other animals, because we were faster, because we were better in any physical sense. We have big brains, and we are primates that are very social animals. That was our biggest survival advantage. We are probably the most social animals on the planet. It gave us high adaptability and a lot of other things. And positivity is actually the default state of human beings. If you look at free living people that have not been touched by civilization, they're pretty freaking relaxed, and they don't really give a shit about anything except finding food and sleeping, making sure they're safe, and they have sex a lot. We are born to be happy, pretty much lazy SOBs. Next. And as a part of this, they were not constantly stressed. They were not under the pitfalls of current society that told you have to pay your bills, find a wife, husband, blah, 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 A through Z stressors. They had to be in the moment, completely immersed in what they were doing, being peaceful, because that's how you survived in an environment when things can come at you from all different sides. So they lived acutely stressed from time to time, very sporadically, but they did not have these chronic things running through their head that just made them pissed off all the time and diseased. If anyone doesn't know, the number one stress in America is not any of the diseases you hear. They're all underlying results of just an overstressed body. So try to live in the moment more. Next. Enjoy. So the whole reason we go out in the wild, if you're still a wild human being, is to find food. Food is one of the top pleasures we seek. That's why today's foods that are engineered to be even more pleasurable than they are in their natural state will make you overeat a lot. Play is huge. That's mainly what they did after they would just go out, get food, they would come back, they would talk, socialize, and play a lot. Remember, we didn't have jobs back then. The earth provided everything we needed. And sex. Humans have sex a lot. It's on our minds. Like, I don't say this is like a, let's have an orgy. It's more the purpose that it's not an evil desire to have these feelings. They are innately human to us. And I can talk about that more if you really want to talk about it. But next. Sun. This is more than just getting vitamin D, which is a very essential hormone in the body. Being outside sparks the immune system. Who has heard of the hygiene hypothesis? Okay, no one. Hygiene hypothesis says that we live too sanitary now, and now our immune systems have no idea how to dissociate self from non-self. Autoimmune diseases are through the roof. And circadian rhythms, getting early morning sun and, well, it's fine, stay there. Getting early morning sun can really help you get your mood up, get your energy up, and then getting deep restorative sleep, which is next, is essential to health and well-being. This is probably the number one tip that people just don't want to follow, but this is the best excuse to become a professional sleeper. We're in college, who doesn't like sleeping more? But sleep, it is more important than food, more important than exercise. If you are chronically deprived of sleep, it's the fastest way to die besides being dehydrated. So dark room, keep the light completely off, no TVs, no electronics. I know it sucks, people like falling asleep with the TV, but it really hurts your quality. You'll thank yourself after like a week of really good sleep. And if you work out, which you should, you really need some. So next, move. We are bipedal animals. Running yourself into the ground, and I mean that literally, is not an optimal way to lose body fat. It can work, but like everything else, it's a stress. So if you have a job, kids, you're a mom, housewife, the last thing your body needs is to be run into the ground with more high volume stress, which is what running is. I mean, if you honestly, God, love running, go run. I'm not gonna tell you to stop moving, but just know that it's not necessary to be optimally healthy. Just move a lot, just constantly. I go for walks, meditative walks, blah, blah, blah. The most important thing is putting your body against heavy amounts of force. getting to the gym, lifting heavy weights, or doing crazy stuff like that and learning how to move your body in ways you would never think possible really strengthens you. And sprinting, really, really good. We were either prey, being chased by something, or we were predators, mostly predators, trying to chase something down, stab it, kill it, bring it back to camp. And the most important part, which is not the part I want to emphasize, but is the part that's hardest to change, and people really fight me on this, is food. Humans are meant to eat food from the earth. There is no macronutrient warfare going on, as in there's no evil protein, carb, or fat. They're all needed and good for you, but they need to be from the ground. And I'll give you an example. Who has ever had whole grain bread? Raise your hand. Okay, who has ever gone out to a wheat field, harvested wheat berries, put them in a bucket of water, let them soak and sprout and ferment for 3 days, and then ground it up, put it in over a fire, and had a really dense loaf of hard stuff? Now, have you ever had whole wheat bread? You guys have had that? No, like the whole process I just described. That's how you really need to be eating things if you really want to eat bread. Unfortunately, that's the method that we've traditionally prepared bread. And it's not easy. I just don't eat it. It's just a waste. So yeah, naturally raised meat, wild fish, fowl, eggs, vegetables, starchy and non-starchy, fruits, mostly berries if you're going to do fruit, nuts, seeds, and then healthy traditional fats. Butter is not bad for you if you don't drink a gallon of it a day. Whole fat dairy if you're not lactose intolerant or sensitive. And like I said, no grains and just no refined crap. I know it sounds miserable, like, oh my God, I'm gonna eat salads. I don't know the last time I ate a salad. I don't eat rabbit food anymore. That was when I was a vegan. And not to hate on veganism, it can work for some people, it just didn't work for me. But yeah, you will be eating food. The fastest way to gain weight is long-term calorie restriction, and as soon as you start eating food again, it will pile right on. Your body knows exactly how much body fat it wants, and the fastest way to pile it on is to starve yourself. How much time do I have left? 2 minutes, okay, next slide. And the result, okay, yeah, what are your goals? I'm ahead of myself now. Fat loss, muscle gain, body recomposition, and if you have a chronic health condition, this is the part that people really don't understand, like, what does health feel like? If you think health is the absence of being sick, then you gotta turn it's kind of like if Columbus had been like a few degrees off, he never would have found America, or wherever the heck, whoever found America. If he was a few degrees off, he would never have found it. If you are a few degrees off, but you tilt yourself and you find your optimum diet, it feels absolutely incredible. And chronic health conditions vanish: acne, migraines, asthma, any other ones you can think of, Ben? Oh, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, tons of stuff. So yeah, that's the main benefit, is health. It's not looking like a boss. I still have body fat to lose, but I'm doing it the sustainable way. I will not starve myself again. Next. Yeah, health. People just find miracles in this stuff. And one last message is that if you've ever been told you need to eat less and move more, could you go back to my slide real quick? Yeah, like the very first one. Just keep pressing back. Oh my goodness. I know, sorry. There you go. Oh, no? Okay, who wants to tell the kid on the left that he's a moral failure as a human being? The fat one up there. Because when you tell people to just eat less and move more of the same crap, that is pretty much putting the fault on you, that you as a human being are a moral failure to yourself and society because you are being obese, causing us money, all this BS that is just not true anymore. And the science will tell you, and I'm getting very charged right now because, no pun intended, I'm getting very charged right now because this is all you hear in the media. Eat less, move more, and don't you dare tell me that that kid needed to do that, because as soon as I did something different and better and easier, it all changed. It was not a matter of calories in, calories out. It's a bullshit claim.
I'm going to introduce you to David. David, Amici, could you come on stage, please? If you guys could have a seat, if you're not at a booth or talking to somebody. Okay, David, what year are you in school?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, David is a sophomore. So you're a personal trainer. What do you specialize in?
I specialize in strength training, yeah.
Strength training. Okay, well, so what's your favorite part of the body to work out?
The legs, for sure.
Legs.
Legs.
Woo. Ladies, this guy does not skip leg day. Y'all know what happens when you skip leg day, right? Nuh-uh. We don't play that.
No.
All right. So what are the best? What's your favorite exercise for legs?
Squats, of course.
Squats on squats. Okay. And if you could just give one piece of fitness advice, like you had like 30 seconds to tell somebody to do something, what would it be?
Lift heavy and eat real food.
Lift heavy and eat real food. I think Justin would be a big fan of that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you could give a hand for David and take it away.
All right. Well, as you can see, I'm talking about how to make your own program or how to customize your program to fit your goals. And just to give a little background where I started, I kind of started on the opposite end of where Justin started. I was about this height when I entered high school, but I weighed about 85 pounds less. So I was told that I used to look like a praying mantis a little bit, but very tall and skinny. And yeah, so it took me a long time to make any kind of real progress because I didn't know how to program things and I didn't know where to look for information. So I was hoping that I could share some information with you guys today that would make it a little easier if you have trouble making progress consistently. All right. So the most important thing you have to think about when you're looking to make your program or fix another program is, what do you want? And that's kind of a tough question for a lot of people because they have 6 or 7 different goals that they want to do at the same time. But you have to learn to prioritize 1 or 2 things that you want and then make your program specific to that. So the first thing that you want to do is select which exercises you're going to use, what kind of training modality you want. In terms of training specifically, this is where a lot of people go wrong. You don't want to pick exercises that mimic certain movements that you do in a sport or that you do in daily life. You want to pick exercises that work as much muscle mass as possible. So that would be squats, deadlifts, those kind of things. And you want to base your program around that. Now, to make it specific, you would change the rep range and how many sets you do. So let's talk about that. So as you can see from this nice little figure here, rep range for strength training and those kind of things is more of a continuum than anything else. If you train with low reps, you're not going to all of a sudden never gain any muscle. And if you train with sets of 10, you're not going to never get stronger. But when you look to set up your program, you want to pick the rep range for your primary goal and train in that range most of the time. You don't want to avoid the other rep ranges because it provides a lot of benefits, but you want to pick one and kind of stick in that range. And the second thing, once you find out what reps you're going to do, is you're going to determine how many sets you want. And volume is basically sets times reps, and that's a way to think about how much work you're doing. So I'll talk a little bit later about stress and recovery, but you have to keep the amount of volume that you're doing increasing over time if you want to keep making progress. Go ahead. So conditioning and cardio is a big topic for a lot of people, and I think Justin hit on it pretty well, that I don't recommend long, slow cardio for most people, but it's there if you want it. So if you look at this figure over here, you see the 3 different energy pathways that you kind of target with different conditioning or cardio aspects. And if your goal is towards the anaerobic side of the spectrum, the phosphagen glycolysis type area, then you want to stay with your conditioning in that. And that would be like HIIT or sprints. You can go to the next slide. So like HIIT or sprints, if you want to get bigger, you want to get stronger, play a sport that doesn't involve a whole lot of running, then HIIT and sprints are going to be your best bet. So circuit training, cardio, CrossFit type style, it works. It's not great to build strength, but it's a good way to get anaerobic conditioning in. And a lot of people, including myself, like to hate on CrossFit from time to time, but they do a really good job at getting people in good anaerobic shape. So LSD is long, slow, distance type cardio, and it's very catabolic, meaning it'll burn muscle tissue more or less. So I don't recommend that for people that want to get bigger or stronger, or people in general that want to tone up, meaning that they want to keep their muscle, but it can definitely be programmed if that is your goal, and that's just kind of specific to what you want to do with your training. So, second thing that you have to think about is workout organization and when you're going to train, how long you're going to train, those kind of things. And as you can see by this graph, the amount of time that you're training is going to determine how complicated your training is. And at the early stages, you don't need to have super complicated training. You don't need to copy an Olympic sprinter's workout if you want to run a little faster. You just need to do things simpler and add weight or add time every time you do the workout. Go ahead. So for all programming, you kind of have to think about it in terms of stress and homeostasis. So you have a baseline level of performance, and you go into the gym and you do a workout, and if that workout was enough, you're gonna disrupt homeostasis with that stress, and then over the next few days or however long, you'll recover from that stress. So as you can see here, if it's not enough stress, you won't change your performance. If it's too much stress and you can't recover in time, that's when you gear towards overtraining. You don't have to worry about that too much, but it does happen occasionally. Go ahead. So basically what I was saying before, you want to pick the right stress, the amount of volume. You want to pick the right amount of volume that the stress is enough that it'll give you the optimal response, so like this green line here, but also you don't want to wait too long afterwards that you start to detrain. And as you can see, they all start to go down after you wait too long. Go ahead. So the biggest failure that I see in people's programs all the time is that they just hope that they progress. They're going to go in and work out and feel the burn and work hard, but they don't program for any improvement. So what has to happen is you have to increase the stress over time if you want to keep making progress. So let's look at how you could do this for a few different examples. For a runner, you could do basically 2 different days. You'd run for a certain amount of distance. The next day you would jog for a certain amount of distance. And each time you could just increase each one a little bit. And for a while, this will work really well. Go to the next one. So somebody that wants to get bigger and stronger, they don't need something super complicated at first. They can just do the same full body workout every time and add a little bit of weight every time they come into the gym. And this works extremely well. And for somebody that has different goals, they want to get in shape and lose body fat, or they want to be good for sports, that kind of thing. Say Monday they would do strength, Tuesday they would do their conditioning, and then Thursday they do the same strength workout with a little bit more weight, and Saturday they do a little bit more conditioning. And every time they'd go into the gym, they just make it a little bit harder, and for a while this works extremely well. So this is just kind of a graph way to look at that. For somebody that's not done this before, they can usually do something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and make progress every single time that they do it. The baseline keeps improving, so they need more stress, which will be the more weight, the more reps, the more time, whatever you want to make it, but they need more stress to break that new baseline. Go ahead. So there are probably a good amount of people in here, since everybody in this room is obviously fairly fit, that can't do that anymore. So after that, you have to start periodizing your training. And that's just a fancy word for switching things up once in a while. But that doesn't mean that you should just train randomly. You still kind of have to program for the improvement that you want. So let's look at how that would work for those examples. A runner, now that they run enough, they run 4 miles at a time, say they do that once a week, then they'll throw in jogging, strength training, and sprints throughout the rest of the week. And then the next week, they could run a little further. Instead of being able to run a little further every time they come into the gym, it takes a week, but that still adds up pretty fast. For the lifter now, they're going to split up their training because they don't have enough time to go into the gym for 3 hours per session, and they'll do upper on Monday, lower on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday they'll do upper and lower again, but it'll be with more volume. So they're just changing up the training variables a little bit. They're just changing up the training variables a little bit so that they avoid getting stale and they can keep progressing. Same thing here. You're just going to flip the intensity around through the week and try to progress weekly if you can. And you have to keep programming the stress to go up as you do it. So a few other ways that you can go about this, and this is kind of where I hope that you can see your own training and figure out ways to apply it. Heavy, light, medium. If you have a problem where you tend to get stale or you won't make progress for a while, chances are you're either not doing enough work or you're doing too much, and you have to change something if you want that to work. So a good way to change things up would be a heavy, light, medium system, where one day you'd go all out, and so for somebody that's a lifter, they would do as much weight as they can, or for a sprinter, they'd sprint. Then you'd have a light day after that where you would do a little bit less. You'd basically do a light workout that's the same version of what you just did, but it's not quite as stressful. And then a medium day where you'd accrue some volume or some stress to keep the heavy day or the intense day moving up. Just go back one. Weekly focuses would be if you have more than one goal, say somebody that wants to get bigger and stronger, or somebody that wants to lose weight and try to maintain as much muscle as possible. You would have 1 week where you focus on one thing and then flip it by week, so that you can't make progress every single week at that stage, so you split it up into weekly blocks, which brings me into the next one, block periodization. This is more advanced, and it's not really necessary for most people, but people that are more advanced, or if they're training for a sport, can really utilize this. It would be when you organize your training into 3-week blocks, and you'd have a focus in that 3-week block that you would just drive into the ground. So example would be like somebody that wants to train for football in the fall or train for soccer. They'd have a base cycle where they did a bunch of strength stuff. They'd have an intermediate cycle where they'd practice more and do some explosive stuff. And then they'd have a peaking cycle where they'd practice their sport a whole lot and don't do a lot in the weight room. So the last one that you can apply to just about any training is auto-regulation. So thinking back to this whole stress thing, it'd be nice if we could just think what we do in the weight room or the gym is all the stress that we have, but like was mentioned before, you have a whole lot of stress in your life. You just hit it twice. So when you have things that in your life are stressing you out, it's harder to recover, and what has to happen is you're stressing your immune system by trying to add on more to that. So to avoid this problem of, oh, I did a lot today, I'm really stressed, I can't do the same workout that I would normally do because of that, say you're sick, somebody in your family is sick, or your dog died, all these kind of things, you don't have to necessarily sacrifice your training, you can just auto-regulate yourself down. So you can do this using the RPE system. Go ahead. And you can apply this to any kind of training. Just instead of going up to hit a certain amount of weight or a certain amount of reps or a certain time, you'd pick an intensity level, say like 8 for a weight training would be you could do 2 or 3 more reps. And instead of going up to a certain weight and doing a bunch of sets of this many reps, you'd go up to an 8 RPE and stay there until it becomes a 9, when you could only do 1 more rep. For cardio-wise, say you want to do sprints, and last time you went up to the 23rd resistance or whatever. Instead of trying to go up to 24 or 25 and trying to increase that every time, when that's not possible anymore, you can just go up to a 9, which would be just about as hard to go. You can't breathe, you can't talk during it, but you have a little lift in the tank, and you could stay there for a little while to get your work in. So it's just a cool way of switching up your training so that you don't have to focus on hitting a certain number every single time you go into the gym. Go ahead. So just to bring it back together, the most important thing is to determine what you want out of your training. Then you're going to pick some full body exercises and a few little bits of assistance work as they're needed, and pick the primary rep range that you're going to train in. Then third, choose which, if any, conditioning is right for you, and some goals don't require any conditioning at all. Like Justin said, doing cardio for a long time a lot of people think that's the best way to lose fat, but it really isn't, and people that have done this for a while can tell you that doing HIIT or sprints or just doing weight training and fixing one's diet is a lot more efficient way to go about losing body fat. But anyway, last thing is the only thing that I hope that I really got across today is that you have to program an increase in stress over time. You can't just hope that progress happens, and you can't just train however you want every time you go into the gym after your new gains. But what has to happen is you have to program for the improvements that you want to see. And to do that, you have to increase the stress level either linearly, like adding every time, or in a periodized fashion. So, if anybody has questions, I'd like to take them now. That being said, if people have personal questions they want me to address their program, I'd be happy to do that. You can email me or find me on Facebook. I love helping people out with these kind of things, and especially if it's about this. That being said, I have to eat, so I will plug the fact that I do offer monthly programming services if you want a personalized program created. Although I hope that this let you do it for yourself. All right.
Thank you. Onyinye is a friend of my best friend from high school. What high school did you go to?
I went to Springbrook High School. I don't know if anybody's from Montgomery
Any
County.
Springbrook,
Any
Moko people in the house?
No. Springbrook?
Sure would.
Oh, see, my brothers went there. My siblings go there, so I don't really.
Okay.
They're a lot younger. I don't know. Well, I don't know what grade are you. What year are you in? Junior. Oh, you might know some people I went to middle school with, but not any of my siblings. So,
Moko people. I'm from PG, y'all. Who's from PG?
PG?
Nobody.
PG in the
Hey, Diana,
okay.
PG in the house.
building? Okay.
New Jersey, any New Jersey people?
New Jersey, New York.
Okay, Hoko, Howard? Charles County. Oh,
Charles
no,
County.
all y'all from Charles County.
Baltimore.
Baltimore, be more.
Nobody in Baltimore, no?
No, me, bro. Okay, well, we're so glad that you joined us from
No problem.
Baltimore.
No problem.
So the reason why I invited Onyinye here is that my best friend, she started lifting, and I was like, why are you starting lifting? And she's like, my friend from Springbrook, dude, she's so inspiring. She's gonna take you to an Olympic weightlifting gym. So I had to check her out on Instagram. You know, y'all follow some people on Instagram, right, that you don't know. So I've been on the low, like, just following you. And then when this came up, I was like, oh my goodness, now I have a chance to invite you and meet her. So, Onyinye, what do you work out to? Do you like to listen to music?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of trap music, so.
Trap music. Who listens to trap music?
I probably like trap music. That's pretty much all I listen to.
Who doesn't even know what trap music is?
I'm running, it's
Just
more
kidding.
relaxed, but mostly trap.
Running? Okay, so relax for that.
Yeah.
And trap. Okay. So how long have you been, like, seriously working out?
About a little over a year now.
A little over a year. So if you guys are, like, intimidated, maybe like me, who don't really like work out that often. I know, I'm an organizer of a health and fitness expo, but I'm a newbie, and I'm really getting really passionate. You know what I did yesterday?
Yes, so what did you do?
I ran a half marathon.
Woo!
Yes.
Nice.
Who ran the Nike women's half marathon?
That's a
Nobody?
lot, guys. That's 13
Charge?
point
Nobody in
something
charge?
miles.
Claudia did, right? That's awesome. So you guys are there. So, guys, I'm just letting you know, if you guys are not in like the shape that you want to be, it's okay. You can still do amazing things. That's why I'm like hobbling around. I'm like hurt. I need to take an ice bath. But it's not working. Okay. So
Okay.
that's okay. We're going to figure this out.
All right, I'm going to do it all without the PowerPoint.
You can do it all without the PowerPoint. You can get started without the PowerPoint, and we
Okay.
can figure it out.
All right, cool.
Is that okay with y'all? Okay, thank you. You guys have been so fabulous. I'm going to hand it over to Onyinye.
Okay.
And prepare to be inspired.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to see if I can do it without the PowerPoint. All right, so it feels really good to be up here. Before I did fitness, I did public speaking competitions. So this is very comfortable. Like, I don't feel nervous at all. Which is weird for some people. But my name is Onyinye. I am 20 years old. I go to Towson. You guys probably don't like me. I started my fitness journey the second semester of my sophomore year, so about a year ago. And I am a double major in communication studies and mass communications with a concentration in public relations. So my fitness journey has actually kind of started a little bit weird. Before my fitness journey, I had never was really active. My African dad did not believe in playing sports. Oh, is it up? Oh, awesome. You can go to the next slide. Oh, no, that's me. Oops, sorry. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this was me, my senior year of high school. Horrible hair, ashy knees. Yeah. So like I said, I was never really active. I was, very inactive in high school. And so I never really thought of fitness. It was like, oh yeah, eat healthy, but I loved gummy bears and cheeseburgers, and it was just gonna happen. So, oh, yay, fun. All right, so this was me. This was a couple days before I started my undergrad. So it was like right before my freshman year. And I went from this to that in less than 6 months. So freshman 15 became my best friend. And so at that point, it just never really clicked in my mind. Fitness, get right, get your body right, never really crossed my mind. So that is what I looked like by the end of my freshman year. And the reason why I have this photo, a lot of people ask, is because I had done another presentation and I put myself out there like I am today. And so that's the photo, and I've kept that photo ever since my freshman year. But yeah, that is exactly what I look like. So how did I get started? So it's actually kind of funny. So my fitness journey was indirectly inspired by a crush that I had, that I still might have, but that's not the point. So I was being a creeper on Instagram, and does anybody have Instagram in here? Follow me at fitmindbodyandsoul.com. So the little following toggle, if you go to news, there's a following toggle. Not a lot of people use it, but you can literally see the people that you're following, what they're liking. So I kind of went into stalker mode. Don't tell anybody. I went to stalker mode, and I started seeing what my crush was liking. And it was a lot of fitness, like Fitspo, like fitness inspiration, food ideas, meal ideas, exercises, progress pictures. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, why? I mean, he played football, so it made sense. He was into keeping his body right and stuff like that. And I'm like, it sounds bad now, but at the time, maybe I should try this. Maybe he'll like me if I do this. Sounds really bad. So that's where it started, all through Instagram. And so I was, going through my Instagram, and I saw these women that were lifting weights that looked great. I mean, obviously some of them had six packs, some of them didn't have six packs, but were strong as anything. And I said, I want to learn how to lift weights. I want to learn to live that lifestyle. And so I made that my New Year's resolution of 2013. So that's how I started. This is actually my current page. Yes, I have a little kind of racy, well, sexy, but and so this is my current page, and so that's how it all started. So it was that February, came back from school. I started, the new semester in February. And the first thing I did was I started changing up my eating habits. So from there, started drinking a lot of more water, brown rice, replacing it with white rice, a lot of more fruits and vegetables. And so that's how I kind of started that process. It's very small, it didn't happen overnight. Some people think it did, it never does. So this is a kind of example of some of the meals that I have. So I don't know if there's a little pointer thing. Is there? Oh, there we go, see magic, okay. So that's actually some oatmeal. It's, I boiled, I don't know how, some people make their oatmeals differently, but one example, one thing you guys could try, put the oatmeal in almond milk, sweetened almond milk, unsweetened would taste disgusting. A little bit of raw sugar. I know that doesn't really sound all that healthy, but it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it, so. And some cinnamon with some bananas, and it's amazing. So then I have fruit that I got in at one of the places on a campus. That's some pasta with a little bit of Alfredo sauce. I try not to put a lot for the fat content in it. And that's some vegetables, peppers, whole wheat pasta. And then that's a brown rice with stir fry over it. So it's chicken, peppers, broccoli, that type of thing. So from there, I started learning how to lift weights. I'm actually all self-taught. I did not have not one person teach me. YouTube became my best friend, still is. And so I learned, I would look on Instagram, see a lot of people demonstrating different exercises, such as the squat, the deadlift, the bench press, the split squat. I mean, you name it, it's out there, you can find it. So that's how I use my resources. So people ask me about my lifting regimen. I tend to train five days out of the week, lifting and cardio. I've actually switched it up now where I do 3 days of lifting and 2 days of cardio. Most of my cardio is high intensive. I take 1 day to do some long distance running, because I was a long distance runner before I did this. I did a little bit of that. And what else? I do a little bit of powerlifting. Not powerlifting. Olympic lifting. As you can see, I'm in the squat position out of a clean. Plyos is my best friend. If anybody likes to jump around, have fun, that's the best way to get a HIIT workout, doing plyos. There's a box jumps right there. Love rows, so that's a back workout. Yes, I'm a female, I can do a couple pull-ups, get at me. Yes, that's actually really recent. That's what my arms look like. Not today because, I don't have a pump going in my body, so. But that is what I look like, and yes, that is ass to grass squatting. Get at me. It's like, no. So, I know the picture a couple slides ago. That is what I looked like. That was my freshman year, and that is what I look now. So it is possible. And so today, I'm not gonna really talk about like what to eat and what not to eat, and what exercise to do to get a big butt, and what exercise not to do. That you can find just about anywhere. You can ask a personal trainer, David, right? Is that the name? Remembered. Ask David. You could look online. So many resources of how to get your body in shape. But I'm gonna really talk about something that is very personal to me, that isn't really talked about when someone goes on a fitness journey. So, number one, the fitness journey can and will be very lonely. Like I said, I did everything by myself. To this day, my friends sometimes might join me in the gym, but right before when I first started, they weren't going with me. They weren't gonna, no, I didn't have anybody, hey guys, let's get to the gym today. I didn't have that. I did everything by myself. And I think about it and it sucks, but having that allowed me to build a relationship with myself that I have never had. And so I am so grateful. That's what fitness does. Fitness will build that relationship. Every day you're in the gym, you're trying to lift that weight off the ground, and it's like, God damn it, why can't I get it up today? You end up talking to yourself. You end up understanding yourself in a way that nothing else can do for you. And that's what fitness did for me. So it will be lonely. Sometimes there are people that your friends may not get it, and you might have friends that will get it, but maybe they're so far advanced and you feel like you're just a beginner. You don't know what you're doing when you go into the gym. But it is worth it, and you will find your way, and people are more than willing to help. I mean, a lot of the girls in here I know, they're just like, well, I don't know how to lift weights. I don't know what I'm doing. And all the guys are sitting like, and it's really intimidating, but trust me, a lot of the guys will be really helpful. I promise you. I've created a family at Towson's. It's called Vertical at Towson. I've created a family there where all the guys are trying to find me, like, where's Onyinye? Where's Onyinye? How come she's not in the gym if I miss a week? So people are really helpful. The internet is really helpful. YouTube is really helpful. Make friends with those things. All right. You are always, 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 always worth a healthy and fit body. And this, again, goes to a lot of my females in here. When I first started my journey, I had a moment where I felt like, could I really be smart? Could I really be somewhat decent looking? Yeah, decent looking. And then really have a fit body as well. And I think it comes to the mentality that you try to be all these things and you think that you can't. You can't be everything. You have to pick one thing. And I realized that when you do that, you put yourself in a box. And that's what everyone else wants you to do. People look at me now and they're like, oh, Onyinye, she lifts weights, but wait, Onyinye, she's really smart. Oh, wait, Onyinye, she's a nerd. And people don't get that. People are like, why? How? How can that be? And so you can be smart. You can be that nerd. Any biology majors in here? Any nerdy biology majors? Computer science? All right. So yeah, so if you're a female and you like to read books, or you're like really, really smart, that's okay. And you can have a fit body as well. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't. That's what people try to do to me. People look at me now, they're like, why do you lift so hard? Maybe because I can lift more than you. And it makes me so mad, but it makes me work that much harder to prove to them that I can be anything I want to be. Anything I want to be. And still be fabulous at it. And then my last tip, fitness is a lifestyle, but it is not your life. Fitness is a lifestyle, but it is not your life. And this quote is something that I came up with recently. I had gotten sick a couple weeks ago, and I ate something that I normally eat every single morning, eggs. And for whatever reason, that one morning, that one fateful morning, ate it, and I was in pain, like fetal position, missed one of my classes. My friend was mad that I missed a class, but like in the fetal position, called my mom, like, Mom, I don't know what's going on with me. You know, the whole 9 yards, it was bad. I don't know to this day why I got that sick, but I did. And at that point, I realized that I was trying to chase something that was really unrealistic. When you're in fitness, you'll see a lot of, oh, eat this, cut this out. Don't drink this, but do this. Do this and don't do that. And you get, and a lot of fitness is very superficial. It's how you look. And even if if we are talking about strength, how flexible you are, you start comparing yourself in the fitness industry. I mean, go on Instagram right now, there's a whole fitness community. And every girl out there, every guy out there is comparing someone that is up there, people respect in the fitness industry. And you start comparing yourself and you start doing all these things, trying to reach that goal to try to be like them. And I certainly got caught up into it. Does anybody know anybody in the fitness industry at all? Anybody like really into fitness? No? Well, there's this girl named Massey. Oh, you do? I saw that one hand. There's a girl named Massey, aka Mankofit. You can look her up on Instagram right now. Every woman, this girl has hundreds of thousands of followers. And I wanted to be that. I wanted to be that lean. You know, I wanted to be like, hey, that's sexy, but wasn't gonna happen. My body's not built like that. So I realized that, yes, fitness is a lifestyle, but it's not my life. If I want a cheeseburger, God damn it, I'm gonna have a cheeseburger. And my friends are like, why are you eating that cheeseburger? Because I can, because I'm human. If I want gummy bears that day, I'm gonna have my gummy bears. Now I'm not gonna eat it every day. I'm not saying don't do that. Don't. Because now y'all gonna be coming after me like, you told me I can eat whatever I want and now I still have this weight. Don't do that. Y'all trying to play me. It's like, no. But it is a lifestyle. Yes, you do eat a certain way. You do drink more water. You are active. But let yourself live. What's the point of being in this lifestyle if you're not happy? And yes, you know, you're gonna sit there and compare yourself, but realize that everyone's body is different. Every body is different, therefore every body is different. That made sense, right? Everybody got that? So that's what I realized, and when I got sick and I started thinking about it, I was sitting there trying to count trying to count my macros and trying to see how much food am I eating today and what do I need in order to compensate. It's too much. It's too much. So yes, I eat to, you know, fuel my body, but at the same time, I eat so I can live, so I can enjoy it. And if you can't do that, it's not worth it. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So Elaine came to me like highly recommended. I don't think we ever like talked too much before. And then Jude Paul, y'all know Jude Paul and Micah? Yeah, when he found out we were doing this, he's like, yo, you gotta get Elaine. So I got Elaine, and she's an on top, and I'm so excited. Elaine, where are you from?
I'm from Poolsville High School.
Poolsville High School. Any Poolsville, Moco people again in the house? Moco. Hey. I see. Wait. You went to JFK. Okay, all right. Elaine, do you work out to music?
Yes, always.
And what do you work out to?
House or rap.
House or rap. I love. That's what I work out to too. Okay, we got something in common. I'd love to have so much more in common with you after this talk. I can't wait to see what you do. Guys, give it up for Elaine. And take it away.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Okay, awesome. So today I'm going to be talking about why you're not getting fit. So My name's Elaine, you guys know that. Okay, so a little bit about me. I am 22, I study GIS, I'm a super senior, and I'm also a sister of Kappa Phi Lambda. So I am a 56 kilogram junior raw division powerlifter. And what that means is on competition day, 56 kilos is the most I can weigh, or it's about 123.5 pounds. Junior is an age class between 20 and 23. And can you hear me now? Okay. Raw just means I don't wear certain gear like a bench shirt or knee wraps. And people always ask me what my numbers are. So I can bench 150 pounds, squat 250 pounds, and deadlift 315 pounds. So at this point, some of you might be impressed, but I just want to put it in perspective for you guys. How many of you males weigh like 165, give or take, 5 or 10 pounds? So according to one formula, if you could lift as much as me, pound for pound, you would be benching 320 pounds, squatting 470 pounds, and deadlifting 540 pounds. But I wasn't always a powerlifter. That is me in spring 2010. I had put on probably like the freshman 50. I was wearing like a size 9 in jeans. And I wasn't watching what I was eating, and I had never ran over like 2 miles in my life, never used an elliptical, I didn't lift. And I stepped on the scale and I was pushing 150 pounds. And that's when I decided that I was really tired of being fat. So for the next few years, I tried a lot of different things, like not really eating anything at all, or running a lot, or both. I tried some diets I found in magazines, and this is a collage of my face, and it's actually in like a general chronological order from top to bottom. And my face changes a lot with my weight, so you can tell that I wasn't really getting results like all the time, and even if I did, I would kind of go back, and I was just yo-yoing around. So today I'm going to talk about what changed that made me kind of finally get in shape and finally be more fit. This is what I looked like a couple months ago. And this is what I look like at competition weight. So these are my results. And so when I hear, so today I'm going to answer the question of why you guys, why people aren't getting fit, why Americans are kind of like getting more and more fat, more and more obese. And I've compiled a list of common reasons I hear from students. You don't have time, it's expensive, college is hard, you're busy, you have work, you're dating, your family, eating out is easier, you really like to drink. The ERC is literally located in Narnia. Does anyone know what all these are called? Right, they're excuses. Awesome, you guys got that. Okay, so once you get past this, well, you need to realize that fitness is a lifestyle. So if you're not willing to put in the time, then that's why you're not getting fit. But let's say that you're past this. You're going to the gym, you're eating right, but somehow you're still not getting results. Well, you'll be relieved or kind of disappointed and a little angry, like me, that the food and fitness industry has made it really easy for us to get fat. And it's because you're fed incorrect information about nutrition, and you're misguided about the workouts that will work for you, and you're being tricked into remaining ignorant. So today I'm going to teach you how to outsmart the fitness and food industry. And the good news is you guys already know how to do this. You just have to remember to. So the first thing you need to understand is that fitness is a science, and it should be treated, so facts of fitness should be treated as science, and they arise from the scientific method. And you guys know that this is, hypothesis, experimentation, replication, result, evaluation, conclusion, and this is science. And if what you're doing follows this method, then, you pretty much, if you follow this rule, you're pretty much done. Like, you'll stop believing all these crazy fitness myths, crazy fads, and you'll finally get in shape. So to understand what makes you fit, the first thing you need to understand is what makes you. So your weight is generally made up of these things: your skin, your hair, your muscle fat, so on. And these are made up of the things you eat. And this is why diet is so important, and this is how the food industry plays such a big part in being fit. There are over 37 trillion cells in your body, and they replace themselves by what you eat. So what is the goal here? In general, from surface down, your body is made up of skin, and then fat, muscle, organs, and bones. And the goal here is to tighten skin, decrease fat, increase muscle, nurture your organs, and strengthen your bones. And we do this through diet and exercise. surprise. So, but the thing is, people are being tricked into the wrong diets and the wrong cardio exercises and the wrong lifting exercises, and that's why we're stuck in this endless cycle where we just chase fitness and never actually get there. So now that we've learned a little bit about that, I wanted to go through a couple of examples. So Shape magazine is probably the worst. They say we can get slim without the gym and without dieting, and these are the two things I just told you that you literally have to do. And this one literally says no weights. So this is a shortcut that fitness magazines will present to try to get you to buy their products, and it's not a long-term solution. They also present a lot of celebrities like Eva Longoria. You should try her hot body workout now. But the problem with this is that even though celebrities might be in shape and they're keeping their figure, and that's great, they're professionals in acting and singing and whatever they do, not fitness professionals. They're not nutritionists, they're not doctors, they're not trainers, they're not athletes. And it's really dangerous when people are just kind of like blindly following celebrities and what they do. And the last two examples I have are Women's Health magazine saying you can burn fat and sculpt lean muscle in just 5 minutes, and a men's magazine saying you can build arms really fast. And the truth is you can't build lean muscle in just 5 minutes a day. Getting fit is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication. And so these magazines are all essentially lying to you. So let's look inside one of them. David actually sent me this one earlier. I think it's really funny. It tells you how to erase arm flab fast using workouts with water bottles. And they have a personal trainer in the corner to kind of make it a little more credible. This is really silly because water bottles weigh almost nothing. And it's not challenging your body. It's not going to change you. And and people are paying for these magazines, and this is what they're getting. This is a workout from Oxygen magazine, and it might work if you increase the sets and decrease the reps and added weights, but without those adaptations, this isn't going to do anything for you. Oxygen magazine often features one of my favorite fitness models demonstrating these workouts. She looks like this. And when we see people doing these exercises, we think that that's what they did to look like that. But the thing is, I don't know why, but I guess fitness magazines really like to pay hot people to do stupid things, but that's not what they did to look like that. But you guys already knew that. So I think we just need to remember that all of this is just pretty much a big scam to get you to buy their products. So more importantly, you need to be watching what you eat. So this is an example of Kellogg's Special K diet. There are 5 meals you get to eat, and 4 of them are all Special K products. And I looked up how much someone would be eating in a day, and it's about 1,500 calories, which doesn't work for everyone, and it's probably way too low. And then the last meal, you get to choose what you eat, so that pretty much doesn't make you lose weight if you're eating like 5 cheeseburgers during your last meal anyway. And in fact, and this is not a sustainable diet. The average person might lose weight, but in the long run, they're probably going to gain it back. And on the Special K website themselves, it says that they're going to update to longer-term plans, but I really doubt that they'll be able to come up with something that revolves entirely around their Special K processed food line, because that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to design diets that are going to be profitable for the company and not make you healthier. So let's turn to the supplement industry. This is a chocolate peanut butter protein bar. And according to the label, it will help build lean muscle. Well, this just isn't true. You can't just eat your way to lean muscle. And in fact, this is the 3rd step in like a 3-part protein bar, power bar, consumption ritual where you eat something before, during, and then after your workout. And all of it is just to make profits for a company like Power Bar. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the food and fitness industry wants to make money and not improve your health, and the way we can outsmart them is by using science and just making sure that everything you're hearing isn't a myth and it's actually backed up by real science. So these are my plugs. You can follow me on Twitter, you can stalk my life on Instagram, and my Tumblr has an AMA where you can ask me questions anonymously if you want to, and you can watch me lift on YouTube and email me if you have any other questions.
Does anybody have like a question for Elaine, just up front from the audience? No question? Okay, well, can you just get all our presenters up here? Just give them all a hand. Thank you. We're nearing the end of our event. You still have time to like talk to our booths. But we just wanted to show our appreciation for all that you've done. It's just a small token of appreciation. I wish I could send you all on, well, this is yours, and this is Onyinye's, possibly. And no, she's talking to somebody. And thank you guys so much for presenting at our first expo. We hope to did you guys like this idea? Do you want to like see this grow? Okay, so I know I'm gonna be graduating, but I know Justin, he's a junior, so he's gonna keep this going, and we're gonna build this up because did you guys learn things that you might not have learned at the health center or other places? Yeah? Okay, so the goal of this health expo was to one, present a diverse view of fitness experiences. Thank you, yes. Thank you. To prevent a diverse array of fitness. So there's not only just one way to do fitness, and that's why we had like a diverse panel here. And also health equity, because we believe that everyone should have the opportunity to have good health, no matter what socioeconomic class you are, what race, what age, where you started or where you want to go. Everybody should have access to good health, and that's what we're all about. This was hosted by the United Greek Council and Primal Terps, United Greek Council for culturally based fraternities and sororities, and Primal Terps. So if you have any questions about the event or any comments, contact me. Feel free to talk to any of the booth people, and thank you guys so much for coming out.